In recent weeks, the gold price has known nothing but all-time high, all-time high, all-time high, all-time high. Now there's a pullback and the discussion is already starting. Should you now shift into Bitcoin? Hey, welcome to Crypto Owl. Exciting news about Bitcoin right now. Whether it's Tucker Carlson, for example, who says the CIA made it happen. Feel free to check out the short section here on the channel, or Instagram and TikTok Crypto Owl. Feel free to follow, I'd appreciate it. Or the big topic, the price of gold, it keeps going up. Now it's dropping, and people are shifting into Bitcoin because Bitcoin is the simpler asset, even though the price per kilo of gold is actually close to the price of Bitcoin. So there's some exciting news, and I'd like to go over it with you. But first, let's take a look at the price and check it all out. The current gold price, and props to Crypto Menu, he broke it all down and even shorted it. He showed that exactly where this line is now. As you can see, a double top has formed there. That means top, pullback, top. A double top is just like a double bottom. A double bottom often leads to a new all-time high or a new higher high, and a double top then offers a good shorting opportunity. And that's exactly what happened here. I also mentioned this in our Telegram group, and we took a look at the whole thing together, and Manu went ahead, shorted it, and played the short very well. Meanwhile, Bitcoin, the situation is difficult right now because Bitcoin is, of course, reacting extremely to what's happening in world politics. Gold isn't always online. So, for example, gold isn't traded on weekends or at night. With Bitcoin, it's different. It's available 24/7. And of course, it reacts instantly to everything that's said and done in the world. And there was this situation where there was that green candle and gold dropped for the first time here. Then there was this nice picture, and many people said now is the time. We can see it in the chart. Bitcoin is going up, gold is falling, people are reallocating. Now the big question is, why should you reallocate? You have an asset believed to be safe, one that's accepted by everyone in the world, and a digital asset that still needs to establish itself. After 16 years, the price is good, but it's still far from being known and accepted by everyone. Bitcoin, it's different with gold. But you also have to get gold from A to B first. And with the current world politics, things could escalate at some point. And then it might actually be easier to carry Bitcoin across a border than all your gold coins or even gold bars. That's why many people claim that more and more people are recognizing the advantages of Bitcoin. If we take a look at this and don't look too closely, there are quite a few spelling mistakes in it. I had ChatGPT do this for me. It's really well put together, but the spelling mistakes are insane. Criteria, gold versus Bitcoin. The supply of physical gold, I'll talk more about that in a moment, is theoretically unlimited, but expensive to extract. Bitcoin is fixed at 21 million. Don't ask me why it says more there. The number is limited and no new creation is possible. Bitcoiners will say, but wait, if the Bitcoin network decides we want more Bitcoin and it gets voted on, then theoretically there could be more Bitcoin. But let's be honest, the vast majority of the Bitcoin community doesn't want that at all. 21 stands for Bitcoin, and that's where it's going to stay. With gold, on the other hand, yes, it's expensive to mine, but if you find a nice deposit, then it's definitely worth going in and extracting the gold. So in other words, it's far from being limited. Gold has a long history, recognized as a store of value for thousands of years. That's what I was saying. People accept gold, they know what gold is, and everyone is familiar with it. But it's only since 2009 that it's been growing rapidly. And right now, that's an absolute track record. And this track record, we can take another look at it here because CoinDesk has analyzed the whole thing and written about it here. Both assets, that is gold and Bitcoin, are currently valued at around 123,000 US dollars. That was the moment when Bitcoin was estimated to be in this range. Human civilization needed 5,000 years to reach this with the price of gold. Bitcoin achieved this in 16 years. Yes, that's true. And here we're talking about 1 Bitcoin and 1 kilo of gold, and you have to actually have that 1 kilo of gold first too. Bitcoin, on the other hand, I can accumulate relatively quickly, save up by saying I just buy a little now and then. Saving up $123,000 in Bitcoin sounds a bit extreme, but the point is that you can simply save it up. And you don't have to lug around all that gold or drag your money to a gold dealer, but instead, at any time, you can simply invest this money on an exchange, that is a crypto exchange, and put it into Bitcoin. The value development is long-term, stable, with low fluctuations, but also limited growth due to the naturally limited supply in the form of free trade, because you first have to go there and buy the gold. Of course, there are now other ways to buy gold, like digitally, but do you really have it in your hand then? And hasn't that always been the argument for gold? I have something tangible in my hand, just like with silver. The gold of the common man, meaning silver coins that I can simply hold in my hand. Hasn't it always been said that this is the advantage? So why should I buy it digitally? Then I might as well invest in Bitcoin. Bitcoin does have high volatility, but it has shown much stronger growth over the past 10 years. As I said, compared to gold, which took 5,000 years to reach its current value, Bitcoin achieved that in just 16 years. Transferability. Physically, gold is difficult to transport and often comes with high storage and insurance costs. Bitcoin, on the other hand, is digital, global, can be sent within minutes, and has no physical storage costs, except maybe a one-time purchase of a hardware wallet for security. So you can see it's pretty crazy. Liquidity is very high and recognized worldwide. With Bitcoin, liquidity is growing rapidly. It's now very liquid and available on major exchanges, but still smaller than the gold market. You can really notice right now the Bitcoin movement, or rather the movement surrounding Bitcoin. Not just the Bitcoin movement itself, but the whole phenomenon is palpable. Banks hold licenses. Even in Germany, VR and savings banks will soon be offering investments in Bitcoin, but at first only to their, let's say, well-off clients. But all of this is coming gradually. And more companies are getting involved with the topic of digital assets, or rather, a digital treasury, meaning also called a treasure chest or reserve. And that's a big topic that's becoming more and more important. And you can clearly see that the advantages are definitely there. Mathematically limited, not run by any company, and not easily issued. That means no one can just go and say the blockchain is over and it's transparent. That means I can see which wallet holds how much Bitcoin. And Bitcoin are transferred from wallet 1 to wallet 2. And with gold, who actually owns gold? Who has it buried in their garden? Who has it in a safe? Or who has it stored digitally somewhere? With another company. Where is all the gold kept? Is it still in the ground? Is it in the mountain in a safe? Where is it all? No one really knows. And we've seen it with environmental certificates. The big problem there was that certificates were sold twice, 3 times, or even more, even though the forest for which the certificate was issued no longer existed. So you can see that there are a lot of problems in the world, problems that have existed for a long time, but Bitcoin can solve them, and all of this is special. Buy Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies at Maxi. At Maxi, you can trade over 1,800 cryptocurrencies, go long or short, or buy spot. There you have 0% fees and even a $10,000 bonus when you sign up. With my link, you'll get an additional 10% cashback on all fees at Maxi. You'll even get a 10 USDT bonus when you sign up, on top of the 10% cashback. Buy and hold easily. For example, Bitcoin, which you can buy in the spot market via limit or market order, or use futures trading, whether you want to go long or short. And that's even with up to 500 times leverage and brand new with AI analysis. This can be worthwhile to predict the right direction of the price. Maxi also offers you many events related to the crypto space, whether it's Launchpad, Airdrop Plus, Kickstarter, or lots of daily trading bonuses with their future M Day. Every day you can receive up to 80,000 USDT in addition. The topic of inflation, also an important issue. 2% target inflation every year. That means your money loses 2% of its value every year. But all of this can offer protection if you invest in assets, for example, gold or Bitcoin, which serve as a hedge against inflation. One is inflationary, your money keeps losing value, so you need something deflationary. With gold, it has traditionally been used as a hedge against currency devaluation. But of course, that's only the case if the price of gold rises. If it were to stay the same, it would be no different than a stablecoin in this case, meaning its value would remain constant. And that's the case here, as long as everyone believes in it. With Bitcoin, yes, due to its mathematically limited supply, it has an even stronger hard money character. So hard money, deflationary, because there are only 21 million. There will never be more. And because of the halving, so every 4 years, fewer new Bitcoins are created. Every 10 minutes, new Bitcoins enter circulation, and around 2045, maybe even a bit later, the whole process should be finished. No more new Bitcoins. All the Bitcoins that exist can be transferred, traded, and so on. But there will be no more. That means there are 21 million, and on the way to reaching that number, many Bitcoins have already been lost. So in the future, there will be companies specializing in recovering lost Bitcoins. So if someone comes forward and says, this is my public key, my wallet address, and I've lost access to it, then there will probably be companies specializing in recovering those Bitcoins. Whether this will actually work in the future with quantum computers and whatever else, that's the big question. But up to this point, it's said that already 3 to 5 million, the number fluctuates, you can't calculate it exactly. You can only see when these Bitcoins were moved, or rather, when they stopped being moved. And then you can say roughly that should be considered lost. There were also reporting sites, meaning websites where you could report lost Bitcoins so that the Bitcoin community knows those are definitely lost. And all of this means that although the total is limited to 21 million, in reality, it's actually less. And that's what keeps things interesting. So protection against inflation, that's something you can debate because Bitcoin is still very volatile, but over the years this volatility will decrease simply because there will be many more ways to invest in Bitcoin. And of course that makes the price more stable. So will all these crypto exchanges with their long and short traders even exist in the future? Or will they also have to offer smaller leverage so that the price is no longer volatile with 100 times, 200 times, or even 400 times leverage on some crypto exchanges? Institutional acceptance, a very exciting topic. With gold, it's very clear. Gold is considered a safe haven. We don't even need to talk about that, do we? No need to discuss it. With Bitcoin, things are getting more and more interesting. There's technical risk, regulatory risk, but those are gradually being reduced right now. And strong price fluctuations. As I just mentioned, the volatility is still there. At the moment, the price is moving more or less sideways. But in the future, all of that could change. So it remains exciting to see what will happen because we're already seeing it with Bitcoin and also with the ETFs. Are prices becoming more stable here? And basically, whatever the ETF does, whether it sells or doesn't sell, if BlackRock sends to Coinbase Prime, then it was sold. If Coinbase Prime sends to BlackRock, then it's being bought again. And so you can always see where the ETF is moving at the moment. And of course, you can also see that in the chart because the ETF brings in huge amounts of capital. And that's basically the conclusion we can draw from this. Namely, gold, security, stability, tradition, Bitcoin, growth, scarcity, future. And that's exactly what it is. If you want to bet on the future, then invest in gold. Because you know there are only 21 million and actually even fewer since some have been lost. And with gold, how much is there really? Could more still be added? Will we someday be mining gold on Mars, or rather, be able to mine gold, since many people say there's a lot of gold on Mars? Or will we even find a lot more gold here on Earth? And there was something interesting. At the beginning of October, possibly the largest gold deposit of the century was confirmed. Barrick Mining, one of the largest gold mining companies in the world, announced that a project in Nevada had made a discovery. And this could be the largest gold deposit of the century. And here, to be honest, just imagine if even more gold suddenly enters circulation. And that could also have led to the gold price possibly being reset, or rather, a fluctuation occurred because people really didn't like that at all. There's gold. Now I'll show you when that was. It was right here. This is this red candle. That's exactly the day and the morning, or rather the night, depending on where you are in the world, when all of this came out. So these are the articles I just showed you. That doesn't mean, well, as you can see, it went down at first. Then it was like, yeah, we have to check first. We have to start extracting. We have to see if we can even get it out at all. Okay, then it continues. So this whole topic of scarcity is a big issue with gold. It's a big topic and nobody really knows how much gold there actually is. But of course, let's be honest. If the world ever gets to the point where we have to move quickly from A to B, what are you going to do with your gold? And even a mountain with a vault inside, if at some point it gets attacked because people say the mountain has to go, then it could happen that your vault is eventually exposed. I'm not saying it's open, but it's exposed, meaning it's no longer protected by the mountain. Then, of course, the question is, does gold still represent the safe haven or even the asset to have at all? Right now, we can see that the Bitcoin price is also being driven up. by what the orange man is doing over in the USA, because of course a lot is happening in global politics at the moment. So in the end, you know I love memes, just one more meme for this video, and then you can form your own opinion and feel free to write it in the comments. Do you think that at some point more and more people will transfer from gold to Bitcoin, or will they just go for both assets? Write in the comments what you think about it. Remember to like and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any more videos. And now at the end, one more meme, this time about the current situation. Women think they know what men really want, but actually, all we really want is for Trump to make peace with Xi, so that all this speculation and price volatility finally comes to an end. It definitely remains exciting to see what will happen in the coming weeks and months. In any case, it's really interesting right now to see what's happening with the gold price after it hit all-time high, all-time high, all-time high, all-time high. It feels like it has broken a new record every week this year. Of course, it's interesting to see, will it continue like this? Will we still be seeing new gold all-time highs in 2025 or not? Or are we now going to see big extended Bitcoin all-time highs? The whole thing remains very exciting. Let me know what you think about it. With that, I want to say thank you for watching and see you in the next video.